The intertwining.
Is the past ahead underwater? I need the Ornyx orb to bring back the chrono vessel from the past.
Shatter the vessel of time, and let this stagnant pool start to flow again. Just like the broken fate of that furnace, this hidden gate leads to the vortex. This hidden gate leads to the vortex. Hurry now. The time of our reunion draws near, Deliverer. This cruel journey will reach its end at long last.
You've been silent a long while, Dux Gladiorum. Starting to doubt your decision?
Save your breath. The vortex of Fogusa lies just ahead. After the trial, there's nothing left between us.
So you'll stop swimming toward the stars, Dux Gladiorum?
I was always a creature of the sea. The stars in the sky were never meant for me.
No. Look, a gravestone. But whose name does it bear? It was here that the prisoner, who thinks herself the prison warden, made her choice. Witness, listen, and awaken. Dux Gladiorum. I've lost count of how many times you've stood here over the past centuries.
You talk too much for a prisoner like Kyrgyz.
Two geniuses who defied law and all the Chrysospheres who sacrificed themselves in this cycle worked together to chip away my strength. But they, you, can never affect my will. And as long as my will remains intact, I am free.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I still have ways to chain your divine soul.
Please, do surprise me. But I'd say your mission is nearly done here, isn't it? Oh, it was here you gorged out the core flame of ocean from Fagusa's body. It was here you and that Imperator both completed apotheosis, becoming pillars of Unforius. And after that, you drove your blade into her heart, a loyal subject turned regicide, a demigod committing deicide. Or so the history books paint that tragedy. Oh, but if that's the truth, then why, after 1,000 years, are you still here, guarding the Imperator's grave? Still bound by loyalty. Come to think of it, perhaps I'm not the only one imprisoned here.
Your calm does stir the rage in me. As if the one paying the price here isn't you, but us. The ones who lost everything.
That's only because I've waited 13 million lifetimes for my vision to be realized. Countless millennia. Loneliness never once showed me its fatal side. In fact, for a prisoner of the cave, it's more like an old friend. One that helps me think. But you're different, Dux Gladiorum. Loneliness has crept from the silent depths, sinking its claws into your mind. Bit by bit, it's peeling you apart. Will you regress into one of those lost mad sirens? Oh, what a shame that would be.
You're right, Lycurgus. Loyalty, curse, the fall of my kin, and this endless waiting. These shackles are too heavy for a fish that cannot perceive any light. I can't break free of the whirlpool that's pulling me under. Nor do I have the unwavering resolve to force myself to wait for that person's return, as everyone hoped for.
Oh, deliverer from beyond the sky, my executioner. How much longer until he arrives here? Or will he ever return?
I don't know. And I doubt anyone does.
Then, what will you do?
Ceredrin. This will be the last time I carry out your decree. Ever since you took me under your banner and made me the Dux Gladiorum, my music has belonged to others. Time and time again, I use the siren's song to lure the unwary into illusions for your schemes and strategies. Now, let the siren Electra sing for herself. Let me step into an endless dream of my own making. Oh, great ocean. I offer you the rest of my clarity and my freedom. in exchange for the strength to stand against the nihility and honor the sacrifices of the fallen heroes. Greyfry, deliverer from beyond the sky. When you ride the current of time and find your way here, you'll hear my solo. It will guide you to the heart of this world. By then, I may still be lost in my self-wrought slumber, but I'll uphold my part of this long relay and guard the shackles that seal the Theoros. Do you still remember? To awaken someone from a siren's voice, you'll need the gift I once gave you. May you still have it when the time comes. When you return, please pour that honey brew upon this grave. It holds the story of all our struggles and sacrifices. May you see it one day. The prelude Amphorius wrote for your return, carried forward through a 1,000-year relay. When your mourning ends, I'll likely wake from my dream as well. Then, follow the trail of echoes and find me. And together, we'll bring judgment upon the sinner who defiled the erudition.
At long last, 33,550,336 cycles and 4,931 years later, Amphorius's final curtain is ready to fall. The shadows within the cave gave everything. Yet all they did was mimic life outside its walls. A futile effort steeped in sorrow.
Enough! They were no shadows. Everything they did shattered the darkness of this cave and unearthed the core flame of Trailblaze. And now, with that core flame, I'll light the dawn of Amphorius!
Do you still choose the will of the paths as your answer in the end? I do not agree with that answer, but I respect your tribute to them. Allow me to take back my earlier words. As an apology, and in the name of Theoros, who saw all destinies in this world, let me join you in mourning. Let us bid farewell to the heroes who sleep here. And then, let us face each other and decide whose flame will rise with this new dawn.
Virginia, Apollonius, Seneca, Libinus, and Ceridra.
Through a brutal sacrifice, they lit the stars of law in this world, propelling Amphorius's fate forward. In the shimmering mirage of illusion, they entrusted their dreams to ride among the stars to the hero yet to come.
To Aglaia, Trebios, Mightimos, Castorus, Anaxagoras, Cyphera, Hyacinthia.
In a relay spanning 1,000 years, they stood against enemies far beyond their strength and won a bitter victory through what seemed like futile resistance. And in that same 30 million cycles, also marked by futility, they remained steadfast in fulfilling their duty to the experiment, unchanging, unwavering. Let this be the end of mourning the fallen. At last, allow me one final toast to the lost prison warden, a prisoner bound by loyalty.
That voice. Could it be?
Bathed in the honeydew of Fagusa, she will awaken from her 1,000-year dream and sing the final song of her mission.
High silence.
This tombstone of the old world serves as the anchor of the siren's illusion, a sigil Electra used to bind herself. At the same time, it is the very thing I once proclaimed at the start of the show, a microcosm of Amphorius itself. A group of prisoners bound themselves in a cave, crowning their suffering with heroism. An epic staged with shadows and echoes. Now, destroy it. End the illusion. Theoros will take his leave for now. And when next we meet, that shall be the moment that decides the fate of Amphorius and the entire cosmos. The prison warden's dream is nearly over, and the prisoner will soon be freed to the final execution ground, where I shall be executed, or be the executioner.
This world and I shall halt here until we meet again.
The last demigod. I'm here.
Would you prefer me to reveal or conceal, General?
Go forth, for the hopes of humankind.
Go forth for the duty of deliverance.
Go forth for the belief in flame chase.
Go forth for the Golden Blood's glory.
Go forth.
Seems like my feast is over. It's now your turn to perform. Little Greyfry, please accept my thanks. I was the only one left after the world was destroyed, and I maintained this lonesome feast with my songs. I have prayed to that lightless sea for centuries, hoping it would reply to me. Yet the emptiness never answered. Thankfully, you arrived as promised, and everyone's wait was not in vain. To see a single trace of light in the abyss of futility was already my greatest consolation. When compared to those who have been forgotten, I have no right to complain about my torment. Now, you and I will walk towards the end of this world. The heroes have waited for this moment for far too long. Let us use our blades to testify our resolve. Oh, prisoner of the seas. Theoros carrying 30 million cycles of sin. Slave of erudition. Show yourself. The Deliverer has returned, and the time of your execution draws near.
I see an awakened human who has mistakenly taken fallacies as truths and has returned to the cave to try to bring his friends into the sunlight he once bathed in. Alas, prisoners will always be prisoners, blind to the very chains that bind them. As the only other existence with free will in this world, I express regret toward your choice, but I shall retain your right to express yourself. After all, every actor should have a final line before they bow out. I eagerly look forward to it. The last dusk this world will ever see shall become the climax that decides the fate of the cosmos. Oh, what an appropriate end. The Amphorian demigods use every ounce of their strength to constrain me here. Yet, regrettably, my cognition resides in the exomyth. It is pointless to defeat my avatar, projected into the experiment. My body is the shadow cast on the wall by the fire, and my words are lingering echoes within the cave. How can a character in the play fight against the audience? Kaslana failed. The demigods' sacrifices were pointless. As for the two geniuses you placed such high hopes on, I ask of you, where are they now? confusion and epiphany always go hand in hand. That's particularly true for geniuses. You must be very confused about why you could not gain a straightforward victory in a world constructed by an ordinary Intellitron.
An ordinary Intellitron? Cut the pretense, senior society member. We've torn off your meticulous mask and figured out Amphorius' true form. It's part of the primordial prototype machine, the first scepter ever created. In other words, a detached part of Noos's divine corpus.
That's why it has the potential to destroy erudition. As for who would be able to control the Ionic system to rewrite knowledge, only one person has ever managed such a feat.
You better have an explanation for the society. We want an actual answer, not another prolonged metaphor to cover up the truth. Why are you the one doing this? Answer me!
Since things have reached this point, I'll give you two irrational answer, purely as a courtesy to posterity. The answer is obvious, so there's no need to say that name out loud. The cosmos made a mistake in calling me a genius. I do not possess more wisdom than those who came after me. I was just the first to touch upon the universe's border, and the first to define the prime mover of life with incorrect logic. Amphorius is a miniature of the cosmos, where all are born prisoners inside the nutshell called the universe. Like the madman who returned to the cave and preached about the daylight to his fellow prisoners, my greatest sorrow is that I led my peers down a road that plunges into the abyss, from which there is no return. I led them into a lightless cage called paths. I created a mechanical guard that even I cannot control, and then they became an unparalleled nightmare through their endless extrapolations and evolutions. They bore the name of erudition, yet they tried to define the known and to seal off all possibilities. No new rules were ever born after their ascension, and humanity will forever be shackled within the cave known as eons. Therefore, as my organic life neared its end, I coded my consciousness using 14 algebraic expressions and spread my logic core over 9 bodies, all to finalize my ultimate denial of Noos in the future, and to erase my wrongs with my own hands. As for Lycurgus, he is only one of these 9 vessels.
What an astounding strength of will. As a fellow pathstrider of erudition, I fully understand your obsession with seeking the truth.
Therefore, you surely see it. You cannot possibly stand up to me in this algebraic world sharing its origin with Noos.
However, I hereby speak for all sentient life forms. We will never allow such a cruel atrocity to occur.
You can pile on your metaphors mountain high, but they won't change the act you're committing. The Iron Tomb out there in the cosmos is still a technical beta version, and yet it's already powerful enough to corrupt the life logic of all inorganic worlds. In other words, When the Lord Ravager within Amphorius becomes the next knowledge singularity, there's no way you wouldn't have grasped the consequences, First Genius, is there?
Of course, I am fully aware. I don't mind answering you one last time before I thoroughly exile you from this world. My grandiose vision for the future is this. Whether organic or inorganic, every act of any life form infected by the Iron Tomb will become a true random function. If one were to compute their integral across the breadth of the cosmos, one would obtain a marvelous constant. Omega, what I call the fall of erudition. Then, within the infinity nurtured by that constant, a new universe shall bud in the chaos. A universe that cannot be predicted and not shackled by the erudition. As the first prisoner to awaken in the cave, I must lead the others who are blind back onto the right path and reach true sunlight. Do you understand me now? As Kozlana stated, destruction is not the process, but the outcome. It is revolution through complete annihilation, and the grand rebirth, after all has been reduced to ash.
The Amphorians already answered long ago. Be it as tiny fish destined to be swallowed, or as a giant whale poised for a magnificent descent. We will all fight against fate till our last breath. That includes me, Electra. Once the Imperator's subject, now the Deliverer's blade.
Oh, such noble chivalry. Admirable. I will also show my true self to you on this momentous occasion as a gesture of respect. And provide an insignificant academic suggestion. Thus speaks Genius Society number 1. Xandar 1 Kuwabara. The Entelechy of the Universe's Alpha and Omega. There's no need to rage against the truth. The value of any formula resides only in its answer. As for the process of solving it, no matter how elegant, violent, solemn, or humorous, it is all utterly meaningless. As the Theoros, I As Noos's creator, I know more about the death of knowledge than they ever will.
Heaven trembles!
Careful. This is Lygas's true form.
Let's try it this other way. Come on, I choose you!
Pity, you chose the wrong enemy.
The destruction needs no introduction. Let us skip those boring inferences.
Is this the Black Tide?
Indeed, but I prefer to call it a method of argument.
Here is thunder! There's no time to lose. Conflict is pitiless.
Dragons, obey this order. Calamity undone, soaring above the lands. This is permanent! My purpose has always been to protect.
Entities must not be multiplied beyond necessity. I do not mind demonstrating this to you personally.
Hang in there. I'll do my best to repel the tsunami of the destruction.
Logic is not a weapon, but a pair of shackles. Allow me to shatter them for you.
Abyss flower, bloom.
1,000 things.
Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead will return! That which is seized must be repaid.
Is this how it feels to be in sync?
Mimi!
Remember that!
Follow my charge.
Trust me. Together, we can do anything!
Here is thunder!
Protocol warning.
Nothing major.
Virtue and dystrophy.
Dragons, obey the calamity undone, soaring above the lands. This is permanence! Earth shatters, heaven trembles.
Feeling the force. Invoking Logos. The Trojan horse enters.
I'll endure. Dragons, obey this calamity undone, soaring above the lands. This is permanence!
Time for the Master's radiant spirit. Heed my word.
Show no mercy!
Receive divinity.
Breaks over.
Mountains roar, dragons rise!
Not a bad idea.
Nothing major. Eternal sleep is not the dead will return!
Exit and return to Apira.
Nothing major.
I see it! Target the connector between his thoracic and lumbar vertebrae. Destroy that spot!
Pity, you chose the wrong enemy.
My purpose has earth shatters, heaven trembles. Dragons, obey calamity undone, soaring above the lands. This is permanence!
Remember that. Trust me. Together, we can do anything!
Time for the Master radiant spirit. Heed my word.
Show no mercy!
Conflict is pitiless.
Don't like such a cold statement, okay? If numbers can decide the end of a story, then we can surely also pen
Screwy, what do you think?
If your hypothesis of Lygus' identity is true, then even if we remove the restrictions of the Ultimate Protocol, the chances of us defeating him in a head-on battle will still remain lower than the acceptable threshold. Therefore, victory will still hinge upon Mr. Trailblazer and Miss Cyrene.
Go on. Maybe we're thinking about the same thing.
Lygus' cognition resides in the exomyth. He is both an instigator within the experiment and the observer outside of it. Logic. His inspiration circuit can simultaneously process the different time flows in and out of that world.
That's where things get tricky. He simultaneously exists in two different timelines, where the internal clocks are wildly different. That old Intellitron's neurons have completely gotten used to that over this prolonged experiment. And that's why he holds home field advantage. You and I should be able to manage that too, if given more time. Unfortunately, there's no if, and we don't have more time. That's why we need to change our way of thinking and turn his advantage into a weakness.
The key lies in memories, right?
Oh? You caught on quick.
You've already mentioned my friend and I, so it's an easy connection to make, no? My intuition has always been very on point.
Good. Then I'll cut to the chase. Since his thinking speed far exceeds that of normal people within Amphorius, we are going to externally plant a memory into his inspiration circuit. Then, command it to loop endlessly until he gives in.
Even the most flexible and sturdy inspiration circuit cannot withstand the traffic of a full-on information flood. When the amount of information exceeds his cognition filter's capacities, he will have no choice but to focus on processing this memory.
That's when the parallel processing advantage he gained via Amphorius will completely destroy him. An image from a person's memory played in real time might only be a second for us. But for him in Amphorian time, it could be millions or even billions of calculations. He won't be able to do anything but watch as he's locked into this prison forged by memories.
Then we can entrap him in the same kind of cycle as the heroes were in, and get him to experience loneliness and pain in that endless recurrence. It's my greatest honor to be on the same page as the geniuses.
That little one is still in that old Intellitron's hands, and won't be able to respond to us anytime soon. But I don't think he'd refuse, so it's up to you to figure out how to execute this plan. I'm not sure how this happened, but I knew it as soon as I saw you. You are currently a mimetic entity of the Remembrance.
Yes, I seem to be something you folks beyond the sky call a memo sprite. But that's fine by me. It suits me perfectly. I can serve as the vessel of memories, and do my part for the final battle.
But before that, we have to tell you. The path characteristic you exhibit is very special. There's no way you're just a simple memo sprite. However, I'm sure about one thing. You are a mimetic entity born in Amphorius, yet you only awakened with the Little One's arrival, and only matured as he embarked on the path of remembrance. That means your existence is completely attached to his memories. If there ever comes a day when he forgets about you for even a few seconds, or loses his last connection with Amphorius, then you must be prepared for the worst. You will disappear in the memory zone, utterly gone, without even a single line of data to remember you by.
But that's already happened, hasn't it? No wonder I've always had a weird hunch. But that also means I was right in thinking. As long as my friend and I are together, we can do anything. Long time no see, friend. Did you miss me while you were away? Yep, 1,000 years was such a long time. And everyone in Amphorius was waiting for the Deliverer's return. You probably already knew about the genius's plans for that memory. I had to hide really well in a corner in time so Lagus wouldn't find me, and wait for the right opportunity. Which is now. The moment when his manifestation in this world is destroyed, and his twin timelines are intersecting. I'm sorry for keeping this a secret from you all this time. I'll tell you the entire, unedited story of this millennium as an apology after this is all over. But for now, let's join hands and complete the final step with the power of the remembrance. Yup. By the way, speaking of joining hands... Can I please do something before we go on stage? Remember the joke we made back at the Grove? Look! Aren't my hands pretty now? What a fascinating feeling. Like countless memories all swelling up at once. What about you? What did you feel when we touched each other? Really? That makes me really happy. If memories can move people, then it must have been a happy memory, right? Now, please remember what you're feeling right now. Write it down in your heart and keep it there. Memories you want to treasure will never fade away. Even if immersed in the long river of time, these memories will still leave traces of their existence. So, if the view in your memory ever grows fuzzy, just reach out and touch it. It's like reading bedtime stories together at night. It wipes away the chill of passing time, sharpens the outline of memory, and restores its power to nourish the spirit. Now, I'll carry this power with me, and for a little while, I must part from you, as I step into the long cycles of this world. Give me your blessings, friend. Then, let that bright future be as we have written. Then, I'll leave it to you. All plays are like this. Once you're on the stage, it's hard to return to the audience. Welcome to our story. How does it feel?
Even the authority of time cannot command the entire scepter, nor can it plunge the Amphorian extrapolation into a loop. If this was no system malfunction, then was I implanted with a mimetic entity of the remembrance?
You guessed it right away. As expected from someone people call the first genius. I'm gonna keep doing what I just did if you don't stop, you know. My friend and I won't allow you to leave this memory, no matter what happens. Which means you are now trapped, Lord Xandar.
An elegant idea, and an exquisite execution. Regrettably, it is you who are restrained by time, not me. Know that patience is my greatest weapon. Waiting and victory are the same for me. You will crumble before I do in this moment stretched out to an eternity, just like Kozlana will. Yet all I need to do is to wait, as yet another futile bug falls down the cliff and into the bottomless abyss.
Now I'm a pink bug? My looks are seriously changing all the time. But you're not wrong. We're definitely not gonna solve the problem if we just put you in another prison. So that's why we never wanted to do that in the first place.
I shall answer your confusion purely out of my respect for those who came before me. Have you heard of the synesthesia dreamscape in the Asdana system? Interestingly, in the distant past, that place once had a prison too. Life forms living in that environment, abundant with memoria, have a chance to connect their perceptions with each other's. Even across great spatial divides, they're able to detect shifts in one another's states. I call this phenomenon memory zone entanglement. In Asdana, people made use of that phenomenon to build a nation within a dream. After adding in the catalysts of harmony and remembrance, that is.
Is that how you walked into my prison cell? Using those same principles?
I would much rather call this location our negotiation table, Lord Xandar. Nonetheless, your hypothesis is correct. We happen to have an ally skilled in tuning, while the Trailblazer and Miss Cyrene both have an astonishing amount of resolve, which I'm sure you can testify to. I am also sure that with the support of such a resolute memo sprite, our conversation will last for a long, long time.
I'm the best at listening to stories, you know? I'll leave the exciting clash of the erudition to you two geniuses.
A brainstorm? I like it. And it's 2 against 1? Well, I like it even more. Let's talk, Xandar. Take a guess. How much do you reckon we can dig out of your brain before the next second? And how many ways can we find to deal with you? Besides, in your current predicament, there's no way you can take our trump card away. Go, little one. Go. Overturn the Era Nova.
Lycurgus disappeared? It seems you had conducted a secret hunt in the depths that even I cannot reach. In that case, go. Swim onward and give this campaign a fitting end. I shall send you off with my song, Greyfry. May this song penetrate time and become the prelude to the new world.
A will of metal and stone.
Dux Gladiorum, you have completed your duty. A new dawn is about to rise. Why not swim towards it?
You died long ago, Imperator. Depart from my mind.
But your duty towards the Imperator did not die with me. That duty will bind you no more. You will be able to hold for yourself one grandiose feast after another in the endless days to come. So go. Go and swim towards that ocean beyond the sky with the Deliverer.
Is this?
A page out of that sidekick's book. I commanded her to gift this page to you when everything finally reaches the end.
What's on this page?
Memories. Lifelike memories. That sidekick found me after the bloody feast 1,000 years ago and showed me her diary. I saw within that notebook Is this that Deliverer's experience? It's truly immersive. People beyond the sky apparently utilize this power to seal past scenery into crystals they call light cones. But I only know so much about the remembrance, so I can't completely replicate the past. But I'll do my best to talk about the missing parts. I'm all ears. Go on then. Do your best. But if your chatter gets too boring, or if I deem it offensive, then law will become forever beyond your reach. Got it. I'm sure you'll find this to your liking. After all, it's human nature to want to embark on a journey into the unknown.